whenever I go to a card show and I see a dealer who has multiple different types of slabs, SGC, CSG, Beckett, PSA, I always ask them what their preference is, which company they use the most, and why. Whenever you see multiple different slabs, it doesn't necessarily mean they submitted the cards to those different companies. It could be that they picked them up along the way and the card was already slabbed. But what we are finding is everybody has their preference. Whether it's a PSA slab or a CSG slab or an SGC, it doesn't matter what company, but we kind of find our sweet spot. And that's the company we stick to. And we don't really like to change. I was watching a video today from Mike in the Baseball Collector, and you probably know him also from Chasing Cardboard. Really good guy. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, if you're not a subscriber of his channel, strongly recommend it. And he got this big PSA order that came back, and he was doing a reveal, and he was so disappointed with the grades, but he said, I'm not going away from PSA. He said, I think SGC is a better company, but I'm not leaving PSA because I have over 3,000 cards in PSA slabs. That's just the company I'm sticking with. And I get that. I do. But the big debate, the big kind of competition seems to be the battle between SGC and PSA. And PSA continues to lead, even though lots of people are kind of fed up with PSA and frustrated with PSA. So here what we're going to do is we're going to check out, where is SGC better? Where is PSA better? And why does PSA continue to be the industry standard, continue to be the most used company? I have a theory. You tell me what you think of my theory. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. Interested to hear what you have to say. I'm open. I am not sold on anyone. I've submitted to SGC and PSA. I am open to either one of them taking the lead or keeping the lead. Does not matter to me. Nobody pays me anything. I don't get any kickbacks from anyone. Tell me what you think about this.
So comparing PSA and SGC, we have several different categories that I've listed. Slab look, turnaround time, grading consistency, marketing transparency, customer service, and the frequency of half grades, which I think is more important than people give it credit. So we're going to go through these and talk about each one of them briefly. But if you look at the slabs, and look here, I think most people feel that SGC has a better looking slab for vintage cards. The black background there really makes the card pop versus the clear plastic. It makes that card really kind of jump at you. And so PSA to the left, I don't mind their slab look, but vintage has for a long time been SGC's main game because of the look of their slab. So if you were to ask quite a few people, which one do you prefer? The people that I talk to tend to prefer the SGC slab. Again, you may not agree with me. You may not agree with a lot of people, and you might like PSA better. I've had some of you reach out to me and tell me that. But a lot of people think SGC has a better looking slab. Now, the next one up is turnaround time. This isn't even close. The turnaround time of SGC is light years ahead of PSA. And we're going to take a look here at each of their websites. If you look at SGC's website here, they're currently turning cards around in 5 to 10 business days. We're talking about a week to 2 weeks for an order to get to SGC, get graded, and then get sent back. I mean, that's really fast. And a lot of the other companies are the same in just a couple of weeks. Now, when we compare that to PSA, Right now, if you went with the $25 value, which is the one that you wouldn't need to be a collector club member of, it says it's over 2 months. So a week or two versus over 2 months is the difference between PSA and SGC. Now, when you have a card, you want to get your card back, and waiting around is not fun. Now, I've done a lot of videos talking about grading consistency, and to me, and to a lot of people, I think PSA's biggest weakness is their grading consistency and how they have been increasing the severity of their grades. Marketing. Now, SGC's CEO, you'll see him on live streams. You'll see him out and about on Chasing Cardboard and on the Sports Card Investor. They're going to the consumer on YouTube. Transparency. I have seen video of the process of SGC's grading. Never seen that for PSA. Customer service. When I emailed SGC when I did a submission, they got back to me within an hour or two. PSA, you just kind of wait around until they're ready to get back to you. SGC clearly has better customer service. And I've submitted a lot of cards to PSA, and I've never gotten a half grade. SGC does it all the time. The difference in value between a 6 and a 7 is a lot. So a 6.5 should be pretty frequent. So I posted this poll on my channel the other day, and you can see there I've got about 250 people have responded. If two cards were identical in condition, which holder would you prefer? And the overwhelming answer is PSA, 2-1, over 2-1, prefer PSA slab to SGC slab. And I don't think it's because of the look of the slab. Now, this is not sending a card in. This is if you could have one or the other, which would you prefer? Now, I think the main reason that people would prefer a PSA slab is because it's kind of universally accepted that a PSA holdered card in one grade is worth a little bit more than the other companies. Now, some people don't care. And as you can see here, 25% of you, 26% of you would prefer an SGC one. But a lot of people still prefer PSA. So why? Why do people still prefer PSA, and why is PSA winning in that poll? First, I think the set registry has a lot to do with it. If you go to PSA's website, you can make a set registry. And some of you are like, what's a set registry? Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you go in there onto their website, in the set registry, you can create an account and you can make a set registry. And basically what a set registry is you can list all of your cards and the grades and the serial numbers you have the card in. And you can get your set ranked. So in this set, I'm going to go into T206 sets. And there's a million different types of sets. For this one, I'm going to look down at player sets. And you can see here, you can see literally there are thousands and thousands of different categories that you can have a set for. But for player sets here, we're going to look at Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb T206s, just because they're fun to look at. So when I click on that, it ranks everybody out there who has a set of the 4 Ty Cobb T206 cards. And it has a current best and it has an all-time best. And you can see that one there, the Scott Ireland collection, has won year after year after year of the best Ty Cobb T206 set. So if you look here, the serial number is in there. It tells you the grade. In this case, The red background is an 8.5. His has. There's only 2 8.5s in existence. None are higher. So if you look at each of them, you can click on it and you can actually see the picture of his card. So this is this guy's collection of his 4. And that card is gorgeous. And it's an 8.5. So that is the first one. Now the second one, which is the bat off the shoulder, it's a 9. So he has an 8.5 red background portrait, and he has a 9 in the bat off the shoulder. No wonder he's ranked first of all time. So now, as we look through the next one, we have a bat on the shoulder. This is the third variation of the Ty Cobb T206, and this one's in an 8. So you literally can share pictures of your collection, and you can have your collection ranked against others based on the rarity of the card, the grade of the card, and you can do this for a variety of different types of sets, whether it be player sets or year sets or company sets. And so a lot of people who have nice collections, this is a great way to show off your collection. You know, you're at a friend's house and say, oh yeah, I've got some Ty Cobb cards. Well, can I see them? Well, you're not probably walking around with a bunch of Ty Cobb cards, but this is a way for you to share it. This is a way for you to show it off. And one of the joys of having sports cards is to check out their value, but another one is to share it and to look at it. And this is just a beautiful way to be able to check it out. Now, PSA's had this set registry for a really long time, and SGC doesn't have this. So this set that we're looking at here is currently ranked 4th. The average Ty Cobb is an 8. And only one of his is scanned in. But this is a way for you to kind of compete, to show off your collection, to share it with other people. So let's go over to company sets here. So any set you can think of, 1962 Topps set is one. Or maybe just 1962 Topps Hall of Famers is one. Or maybe, anything you can think of. But right here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at one of my favorite sets, the 1950 Bowman Master set here. And when I click on that one, you can see the different options. This one has a rating. That one in first place has a rating of 8.16. That means the average card is at 8.16. Now, you get bonus points if it's like a Hall of Famer or a rookie card. There's all sorts of different ways to help rank it. But if you look here, like this, Phil Rizzuto is in a 9. His Phil Rizzuto is a 9. Pop of 6. None or higher. So the set registry is a pretty big deal for a lot of collectors, especially high-end collectors, to show off their set, share their set. PSA's app. PSA has a really good app. So I want to show you the app off my phone here. So you can open up the app. We launched the app. The first thing you can do is you can look a card up. You can look a card up by putting in the serial number. It also gives you the opportunity to scan it, where you can scan the barcode. So we go over to resources, and you can see up top there's the price guide, there's auction prices of recent auctions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first thing here, the price guide. So you can look up a card and pull up PSA's price guide of that card. Now, I don't usually use PSA's price guide. Some people do. But it's a price guide that's right there on your phone. You have the auctions realized. Now, I think this is a useful one. You can check out what has this card at this grade been selling for at different auctions. You have a population report, so you can see how many of them are out there. Just did a video on population reports earlier this week and how they play into values. You can see all sorts of things like the grading standards. Now, some of us laugh at this because we say, yeah, I wish they used the grading standards, but you can see, okay, well, what should a 6 look like? What is a 6 for PSA? And what are their standards? That's all accessible through the app. You can check out the prices of grading. So the app is a big deal. So PSA is killing SGC on the registry and the app. And as I mentioned earlier, PSA just seems to have a higher value, specifically in higher grades. So what I have here is I have a side-by-side comparison. This is a video I posted a couple of months ago where I compare SGC and PSA values. So we have a Ty Cobb in a 4 for SGC and PSA. Here we have a Gowdy Lou Gehrig in 1s, and I compare the prices. And in most cases, the PSA value is higher than the SGC value. So as long as people want and prefer to have the PSA over the other brands, the value will be higher. So PSA is killing SGC in those areas. If I was consulting with SGC, which I'm not, I would say get your app going, get your set registry going, and then work on the value.